Hey everybody, just wanted to kind of introduce myself to mobile gaming, this is Big Bang Gaming. I've been playing Eminence and Shadow for a long time. Just wanted to kind of get in on it. They're doing an amazing collaboration with Shang-Ri Frontier, one of the animes that I've been trying to keep up with. I thought this was like a crazy mixture, but I guess it makes sense if you look at the plot lines of things. I don't want to spoil too much for either party, but the interactions of these characters within are pretty fun. Um, of course, the loading screens on Eminence are a little long, but you know what? This takes up most of the space in my phone, and I understand why with all the dialogue and the good animation and cutscenes. This is a really fun game to play. Obviously, I've been playing it for a while. I'm not even capped out yet at 100, but I'm pretty close. Been playing for a while, on again, off again. Same kind of rigmarole for most mobile gaming. You have your daily quests and stuff like that. But what I'm going to focus on here is more about the limited quest line, obviously with the Shangri-La Frontier crew. Just sifting through to show you, that you can technically pay for this, but it is entirely possible to play for free. So I really think they did an amazing job with the Shangri-La Frontier sprites and everything else. Everyone in this show seemingly is just super attractive and or a trap. I'm just testing out here. You can actually, talk to these characters. I'm surprised they didn't do more of a mix with Eminence in general, like maybe talking to Sid, but they basically treat you like Sunroku here. But it's very interesting. Interesting little collaboration. I didn't even want to put the voices on because honestly, it'd be even more dense than it already is. So, I mean, yeah, you can everything you do in this game. You could talk to people. You can battle. You can do tournaments. You can gather materials, fuse magic gear. It's very intensive. It might look like a lot, but it's super fun. I pretty much blaze through it because I've seen it so many times before. But yeah, like I said, you could do like the World Tree is almost like another tournament type thing that you just like beat the best of what you can. But like I said, in this video, I am just focusing on the main storyline. I didn't start immediately from the beginning. I think this is like either 5 or 6 because there's a lot of plot line. This would have been like a 60-minute, gap if I didn't use it. But I think it's cool that they had this interaction that, Sid still being himself in terms of, trying to be coy, but winds up, the two main characters clash. I love their dynamic because Senroku in his anime is super charismatic, in your face kind of thing, where Sid is trying to like play it off, but he has no choice but to to fight it out with everybody. I'm kind of surprised they chose the boss that they did. I guess it makes sense for the game, but there were like so many other things that they could have done. I'm kind of upset that they didn't have any kind of spell towards Rabitsua, like anything. Like even the little, I guess doing the little sprite for the rabbit girl would be a little bit too much, but the interactions are like spot on. The dialogue. I'm sure they had everybody work together, but it was just cool to see this kind of collaboration. I'm still trying to pull for Senroku because I think his weaponry, you can obtain his moon waxing and moon waning blades separately. So luckily I was able to get both of those. And I'm going to try to plow through, getting all of these different summons during the time that I can actually acquire them. But going through here, they're just doing their little plot about, potentially how they got trapped in each other's worlds. Should be talking about how they're going to necessarily get to the final boss type of thing. But like I said, it's actually a really fun game. I was on it maybe, I think, a week after it dropped. I think I started playing and got pretty close. I was pretty close to I was definitely close to top 10. I think I was 16th in the world at one point, which is crazy to think about. But, our guild's pretty strong still. We still do a bunch of raids, and, they've only added more and more to the game to get, certain characters are locked off from certain, you can either pull them or you can acquire them via things that they have, like the sanctuary. I'll do another video of more in-depth, but I'm really just focusing on the storyline here. But this game really sells itself. Now I can actually get to the fighting portion of things. Obviously, I have everything set up. Different characters are weak to certain elements, so if you get the right matchups, you can pretty much, if you're high enough level, you can just kind of bulldoze things. I don't even use the combos. There's combo meters. Everybody else has their own different types. You got your tank in the front, your healers in the back type of thing, your attackers in the middle. Some people can snipe, some people can, bypass, who buffs, who debuffs. There's a bunch of that kind of stuff. But for these next few minutes, that's basically what I'm just clicking through. If you see that little diamond that just popped up, that's me clicking as fast as I physically can to get through all these things, because I rather just focus on the dialogue. A lot of it's loading screen. It's not too bad. Like I said, this game takes up about, at the moment, I think it takes almost 25 gigabytes, but it's so worth it, one, because I already have unlimited, but it's also worth it for the sheer fact that it's so fun to play. Maybe early on there's you can't put it down type stuff, but honestly, with the auto run feature, I have it 2 times speed, so that's why it looks a little crazy on screen. But it's so easy to do. I usually button it up to about 20 to 30 minutes a day. It's just so fun. You get all your different characters. They get different costumes depending on different times of the year. This company they constantly throw you free gems and don't force you to buy in unless you really want a character. Nothing's really set where you have to purchase something in order to gain any additional advantages in the game. If you want to whale, you can. There's definitely whaling opportunities. But, I just play casually, and it seems to be going all right for me. So, like I said, my favorite character would probably be Delta, just because she's a little bit more of the I hate to call her stupid, but she's kind of more brawn versus brain type of character, and she's kind of the tracker of the group. Definitely touches in more to animalistic side of stuff. Call it furry, call it what you want. It's still my favorite character. I love the dynamic of Sid versus Shadow in Eminence and Shadow. If you haven't checked out either of these animes, you really should, because they are just so engaging. The plot lines have a beautiful balance between serious and not serious, because at the end of the day, both of these characters were transported. to like another world, either via VR headset, like they're talking about artifacts in here. They're talking about VR headsets. I thought this background, not to even cut myself off, this background of that tree is just so beautiful. Like, I thought that whole scene fighting Weathermon the Tomb Guard was just like beautiful in Shangri-La Frontier. It really does emulate, your generic MMORPG type of game. Goes into the all the different types of like grinding and special gear. I think they did Weathermon pretty well, but you'll see if during the time that I actually fight him a couple times, I think his feet are not existent. I don't know if they just forgot or think it's like an oversight, but they made him super tall and like feet were not there. Kind of weird. I just noticed that as I was playing because, again, as an auto battler, I can just kind of breeze through most of the stuff, so I can not focus on the fighting as much. But we're getting down to the nitty gritty of what's going on, of how Weathermon get beefed up here. All these characters are just so quirky and funny. And I think it will be. I hope they do this again. Obviously, this is a limited run. I think it's only for another couple days. So if you like either of these anime, I would definitely suggest going in and giving it a shot now. See if you can get either character, because I think both of them on a team would be an interesting dynamic. Finally, Shadow. I've always loved his attire. Like, super giant cowl. Like, leaks main character energy. I like how he gives himself different roles to play there. How normally Sid is just this, like, oh, I'm not in the limelight, but Shadow is just like this entirely OP character. I still have to read both of their manga so I can stop being like just caught up with the anime, because it's so much easier and nicer to see what the plot lines of both are going to be. So hopefully you get to see some the action that I finally get to fight Weathermon. I kind of wish they could have put more. I understand Eminence in general. They're not going to put all the different types of movesets that he had in Shangri-La Frontier, but it's just beautiful scenery. Always with the Sakura around. I want to see if I can see his feet are not. Why are they in the ground? So irritating, but. Yeah, the first battle, when it's beginner, I can blow through it in 2 seconds. But hopefully on the second fight, you get to see a little bit more of his action. I guess I'm a little partial to samurai type, that whole archetype. But it's just, fighting games are just the best. And the fact that they introduced an auto battle feature in here just makes it so easy to like, oh, I could just kind of walk away for a bit and let it do its thing while I go clean up the house or whichever. But it's a really fun game, free to play with an asterisk. And I hope everybody enjoys some of the mobile gaming scene. I'm going to definitely be posting more videos, maybe a little bit shorter than this one, but I just wanted to show the whole storyline again for these two, because I think they're rather quirky, and I think they actually do work well together, even though the main character is a little bit different type. maybe they'll have another event where they can have like a Ravitsua, like I was saying, and for Shangri-La Frontier. I think that would be a cool dynamic. Just try to see. Now you can finally see some of the main fighting there. Might actually use some, yeah, I actually get to use some strike combos, which deal a little bit more damage. You can do it in any different way, but you try to maximize for the most damage, obviously. Yeah, Alpha's the best. I'm still trying to get the whole squad in their like shadow gear, so that's kind of a work in progress, but at least you get to see some of the main hits. I still don't think I heal in this. The healer never does her. Sherry never does her healing, but I actually wind up not taking this boss out one shot, so I'm kind of surprised. I may have to actually do a little bit more in terms of pure power, but yeah, I started to hit almost 100k there at the end. Starting to get a little serious, but basically you fight them over and over. You gather your coins. Those coins lead to the shop. Shop gets you more gear, gets your people stronger, and the cycle begins kind of anew. And the more you do those types of things, the more you can pull, and the more fun and different team matchups you can try. I'm still trying to pull Shadow as well. I mean, I love the girls, but Shadow, oh my god. Shadow, I think it's in Shadow, I think it's either the green tier or red tier. It's just too much. If you're on 1v1 battles with other players and try to get your rank up, if you have him on your team, it's pretty much over. I also love this shot, by the way. I kind of want to draw this shot. I might draw this shot. So perfect. Very anime style. Love how the lines go into Weathermon. Very, very good art style. But yeah, guys. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you have liked it, subscribed, whichever you need to do. I'm not gonna push it, but you know, just a small time gamer. Trying to expand a little bit. Weathermon thanks him here, as he does in the anime. Fades away. And then you get your normal conclusions. Everybody goes back to their world type of stuff. There'll be much more to discuss about this game in general, but I was just so taken aback by this combo of Shangri-La Frontier and Eminence and Shadow that I needed to make a video on it because I love both of them so much. See, that Delta, I'm still waiting to get that kind of gear. Same thing for Alpha. If they look a little different, it's because you can get some of the characters at like a younger age, and then as they grow up, you can get the better outfits and whatnot. They all do different damage, different debuffs and whatnot. It's a perfect mix. Fortunately, you didn't get to see everybody in action, but there's 7 members of the team for Sid, and probably actually even more now if you read more into the manga. But you'll meet them if you wind up sticking to it long enough. Now Shangri-La gets back to that. I think that's a perfect setting. It just reminds me of any open world MMORPG. If we can get transported, I would definitely like to know where you guys would want to get transported. Which anime would you want to go into? Because I'm pretty sure Shangri-La Frontier is a pretty fun VR experience. If they create anything like that for VR, I might actually be into it. But yeah, guys, hopefully you like it. And I will see you next time.